And look, I want you to pay attention because this is a kind of complex, well, it's not. It's a fundamental story, but you need to concentrate to figure out what's happened here. And I've had to think about how I'm going to conduct this interview because there are so many aspects to it. We are joined now first by, and I use the word in the nicest terms, Jenny, veteran journalist, Jenny Ruth, who has written, well, who hasn't she written for over the last few years? Jenny, for a background, how long have you been, pushing the pen?
I do believe in facts, and I'm definitely a veteran.
Yeah.
I started writing for local throwaways in 1983, and I graduated from a 1984 Wellington Polytechnic journalism course.
Okay, so you were just after me. We're of an age, aren't we? I did Wellington Polytech in 83, I think. Was it 83, the year before you?
I was an elderly student. I was 28 when I did the course.
But that's experience, and there's no doubt you're a journalist. Unless, of course, some quasi-quango government agency decides you weren't. Now, without getting into the details of the story you were covering, because I want to get in the details of what's happened, you have been covering events or a hearing, an investigation by the Human Rights Review Tribunal. Have I got the name of the outfit right?
That's right, yes.
Okay, and the Human Rights Review Tribunal is a statutory body and part of the Human Rights Commission, or is it part of our judiciary?
I think it's part of a judiciary. Certainly the PR is coming from the Ministry of Justice.
Okay, and its job is to review...
in a courtroom.
Yeah, and it is doing a case where it's reviewing a potential breach of human rights. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
Okay.
It's hearing a complaint
right
about a breach of human rights.
Right, which was rejected by the Human Rights Commissioner, or is this actually the complaint?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure.
So you have gone along to cover this, right, as a journalist?
Well, I heard about the suppression order, which I thought was extremely extraordinary. And I also knew that there was no other journalists covering it. To my new sense, the subject of these hearings it's man bites dog type story. It's very compelling news.
Yeah.
And because no one else was covering it, even though my field is business and it's not a business case, I thought I should investigate.
Okay, so you go along to what is essentially a court hearing a civil matter. Would we define this as a criminal matter?
It is a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter.
Okay, so it is, but it's conducted like in a court. There are judges, or there's an authority, and evidence is called.
With a panel of 4 people.
Yeah.
And a chair.
And there are lawyers giving evidence, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are 2 barristers, both KCs, 1 for each side.
Okay. And there is a press bench or a media bench?
Yes, an empty media bench.
Okay. But you went along and you wanted to cover this case, which involves the rights of a lesbian group to have a stall at a pride parade or a pride festival. Let's just leave that there because I don't want to confuse the issue that's happened. But they put suppression orders on the general public repeating what is said at this hearing, right? The tribunal says you're not allowed to talk about this if you're a member of the public, but accredited media can report it.
That's true. That's right.
And how do they define accredited media?
Well, they don't in the order. And the PR sent me a section of the Criminal Procedure Act, which requires, it's got a number of requirements, including belonging to either the Broadcasting Standards Authority or the Media Council. Also, for
the purposes, so that's a definition of an accredited journalist for the purposes of a criminal trial.
The judicial officer, it's very important, Sean, the judicial officer can allow any other journalist. And I'm told that requirement is because the international news agencies obviously don't belong to either of those organisations.
No, I don't.
Neither do
I don't either, actually. Yes, I don't either. So you go along and you do report something out of there because you're a reporter, right? You've reported some of the proceeds of this case?
Well, before we got to that, I went and sat on the press bench.
Yeah.
And I was ordered to move to the public gallery, and I was told I was not an accredited journalist.
Oh.
At that point, I didn't actually know what they thought an accredited
Well, they've got no
was.
definition of what an accredited journalism is because they're not a criminal court.
And there is no one. There's no definition in any law that governs civil proceedings.
Okay, so they told you to get, and you got off the press bench?
I did.
Okay.
I went and sat in the gallery. I was forbidden from taking notes, so I also complied with that.
Because that's the great thing about a press bench. You can take notes on a press bench, and that means you can report more accurately. That's why we have a press bench to delineate Joe Blow public who can't take notes from journalists who could. Or that was the old day. My dad, of course, Jenny, used to be a court reporter. Though he did most of his reporting from the pub. Okay, so do you report after you've been kicked off the press bench, told you can't take notes? Did you still write a piece on this proceeding?
Yes, I did. I mean, I would think that both the suppression order itself and the refusal to recognise myself as a journalist, I don't think any judge would uphold those two rulings.
All right. And have you now been threatened with contempt of court or some criminal charge?
Yeah, the same day I published, I went along to the last day of the hearings and was ordered to leave the room on the grounds that I had breached the Contempt of Court Act.
Who said that?
I did leave.
Who accused you of that?
That was the chair of the panel. Her name is Sarah Eyre. She was appointed to her current position in 2022. And
what is her qualifications? Is she a judge or a lawyer or a...
I think she's a lawyer. I presume she's qualified. She's been appointed.
And she said, you're out of here. You can't even bear witness to this public civil proceeding, right?
Yeah, it is public.
And you couldn't even do so as a member of the public?
No.
Because you would have been, what, she said, in contempt of court?
She reckons I was. She said that it's up to the police whether to charge me. I haven't heard from the police.
I wonder if she's run off to the police and said they should charge you. This is ridiculous, Jenny.
I'm not sure that she would, because it's very clear that both she and Pride Wellington don't want publicity for this case. The lesbian group, Lava, they're desperate for their story to be told.
Yeah.
The suppression is all coming from the bench and the Pride Wellington.
Yeah, and Pride Wellington basically said because these women didn't agree with transgender woo-woo, as we call it, that they couldn't have a stall at their Pride parade. That's right, their Pride function.
Right.
Also, you made an interesting point in the early stages of this dispute with the tribunal that one of the reasons you couldn't be a member of the Media Council, or you wouldn't be, even if you could, is that they have a definition of their ethics of transgenderism, which is crazy.